life is live. Let's look it in the eye and go forward through it and deal with the consequences.
What do you make of death? Does it scare you?
I'm not looking forward to it, but it does not scare me.
Do you think about it? Do you visualize it?
I do. And it's a beautiful visualization and a beautiful dream when I go as part of the food chain. It's not a good visualization when I go as part of a random act of violence in a frickin' drive-by or something. Because the second, the accident, it breaks a story that I believe has already been written. At least I don't have the capacity yet to put it into a story, a divine story of the lives that we live. And so there's something ugly and gross about it. And it happens all the time, to people all the time. I just feel like when it's part of the food chain, when I go as part of the food chain, I'm like, that's poetry.
Part of the flow of nature, you return to nature.
Yeah, there's grace and poetry in that.
Do you miss your father? Think about him.
When I think about him, I do. Now, when do I think about him? I thought about him yesterday, working through a script I'm working on right now, working on scene work. And I just had that quick little reaction of wanting to show him, hey, check this out. That's right, not here. And then I don't get sad. I go, he would have loved this. Whereas my mom wants to be on the stage, my dad would have been on the front row.
He's more fun to show stuff too.
Yeah, and he would have, and as what he would, we would have. He knew he was a character. He knew characters. I've based parts of all kinds of characters I've played, and the man that I am on people that he introduced me to and who he was. He would have loved the creative process of working on a script or talking about, hey, movie. That's why I always say I love the movie Mud, because it's the one that I've visualized and seen my dad come to me so many times as a 12-year-old and put his arm around me and go, hey, little buddy, you seen this movie called Mud? God damn it, it's a good one. Let's go watch it. That. Now, my dad never got to see me start a career in film, but he was alive 5 days into he overlapped the first 5 days of me working on my first film, Days Confused. Now that, I think, there's something beautiful about that. He didn't ever come to the set. We didn't talk about it, but he was alive for me to start something that was more than a fad. That was something that would become something that I love to do. And I do miss not him, and then I go out of that. One comes in and goes, look at you, just like your pop. And he's like, what? And he goes, because my dad loved to rub somebody's feet, rub my mom's feet, rubbed all of me and my brother's girlfriend's feet. When we would have a date, they would come over early because they knew they were going to get a foot rub from Jim McConaughey. And then we'd come out, me and my two older brothers this has been on for decades. We'd come out of the shower ready to go, buttoned up, and they're looking at me like, we ain't going anywhere right now. And so we told the story, to my daughter. And I was like, oh yeah, my dad's, it's his hands. I miss his hands. His hands could heal.
So you carry him in you.
I hope so. I hope so. And it's a challenge for me, and I suppose it's like this for any son. How much do we hang on to, and how much do we let go and evolve and update the iOS and try it maybe better or different. You know, it's that there's certain things that I know that I fully believe in. It's like, when do we cast away our father?
Mhm.
You know, when do we say, no, I'm going after the dream. I'm not asking your permission. I question that from time to time for myself, because and it almost feels blasphemic, if that's a word. Sometimes I feel like, you can't, what are you doing? You can't check that and go like, well, no, I'm not sure if I want to really. And then I immediately kind of let myself off, because I believe where he is, he's going, go, buddy.
Yeah.
Go. You're free, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to hold you back if you misread that, or I didn't teach you that as well as maybe I wish I could have. Go. You're free. You're not going to lose. Trust that you're not going to lose. It's in your DNA. It's in your lineage, young man.
Still, it's scary to not have a safety net. Losing your father is scary in that way. That you realize this world is just you. In some deep, fundamental way, it's just you.
Yeah.
You're alone.
Yes. But I mean, also not having that. It's such a gift of deliverance, though, as well. Because I think it's an awesome feeling to know we're alone, to know we don't have that, to know you don't have take two or take three, that it's one take. I mean, the peripheral vision improves, the